Ba-dum-bum, ba-dum-bum.
See this guy here? That's the toughest opponent you ever.
In the movie Creed, Addison Johnson, played by Michael B. Jordan, son of Apollo Creed, the world heavyweight champion, dies before his birth. And then Johnson been sent to orphanage, then to juvie, then adopted by Apollo Creed's widow, wife. And then, then he heads to Philadelphia and meets Rocky Balboa, and then they train, and then it gets really interesting from there. Now, this movie, when I first heard about it, I was really skeptical about it because I'm a big fan of Rocky. And I have to have a funny story about Rocky. My dad used to quote the movie Rocky all the time. I asked him, "Oh, what is that movie about?" And he said, "Oh, great movie." And he would just say that every time until I had no idea what Rocky was about until one day until all the movies came out on DVD in a Blu-ray collection thing, and so I sat down and I was getting ready for the bed. I was gonna lay down on the couch and I was put on the first Rocky. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna watch this and fall asleep while I'm watching it. And I ended up staying up all night watching that movie. I freaking fell in love with that movie, and I ended up spending the next few days watching the other Rocky movies. And I never left the couch. Actually, my parents were concerned about that, and I got along with my grandma, who I used to not get along with for a while, until me and her watched the Rocky movies. And it was so exciting. It was always nail biting watching Rocky. I was like, come on, Rocky, beat him, beat him. So, and it always inspired me to get up and exercise, even though I stayed on the couch watching this Rocky movie during a collecting time. And so I kind of fell in love with Rocky. And so when I first heard about this movie, I was really skeptical about it and really afraid about it. And I was like, oh no, I got this with just a scan from another studio making a half-assed movie to I don't know, make some real quick dough and not really giving a shit and building a good franchise. And so when I heard about it was getting directed, Ryan Coogler, the guy who directed Fruitvale Station, which was a surprisingly great indie film, well directed, and I was really surprised about it. I almost cried in it. And Michael B. Jordan was also the lead in it, so I can see how he moved on from Fruitvale Station to Creed, and so I can see some really similarities directed wise, and kind of they look a lot alike, sadly though, but I don't really mind it until they both really well directed. Now this film was really well shot and edited and written, like really good. There are some great quotes in this movie and scenes that will be classic, just like the old Rocky movie where classic scenes had this been made for us to repeat and reenact and all that stuff. And so, yeah, the fight scenes are no biting again. I was in the movie theater. I was on the edge of my seat in the movie theater, and so I was happy about that. And the whole audience was in it too, and so we were all into it. And then, no, the music in this, great job. Whoever did this music, I know the original theme song of Rocky. It's so inspiring. I always listen to that song when I'm outside running or going on a run. It's so classic. Everyone, in almost every training mountain house, they always play the Rocky Balboa song from Rocky. So that theme song's great. I don't know how they topped it, but they did a good job with the musical theme. And it was almost good as the original theme song. The theme song for Creed, oh my god, this made me want to get up. I can't wait. When this movie comes out, I'm going to buy the soundtrack to this movie. And so I can buy the soundtrack and listen to it during running. So when I'm running and this song comes on, I'm gonna sprint it. I'm gonna Tom Cruise it run the whole entire time. And so I was excited for that. Though they did a really good job with the music, and especially at the last fight when you hear the original Rocky Balboa song, you're gonna love it. You're gonna just get super pumped. I was ready to get up. I'm like, all right, let's go. Let's do this. Yeah, let's fight. Let's see it, Creed. And the whole audience was into it too. And we were like, yeah, Creed. And it was so great. And so it was great. It was a fun time. Some of my favorite movie experiences is when the whole audience like, yeah, and clapping, all getting on, laughing together. I love that about that. Now Sylvester Stallone, oh my god, he gave one of the best performances in his career. He's not the Rambo and the old Rocky and oh my god. Now they do try to modernize this movie and they put a lot of the classic scenes from the original Rocky movie and they tried to modernize it, which can kind of get annoying a little bit. They took this one great scene from Rocky when everyone started running with him around the town and the music getting on and you get really inspired. They do that kind of similar in this movie, but they kind of do it in a stupid way. But it was also cool, but it just made me feel uncomfortable. I was inspired at the same time, happy at the same time, but I was really bothered by it too. And I'm sorry. And so you guys might not be that bothered by it, by me. Maybe it was just me, but I was really bothered by it. And so hopefully you guys won't be bothered by it as me. I thought it was quite dumb what they did with it. They got quad bites and stuff. I'm sorry, I'm not trying to spoil it. And they do add some remixes to some of the old music and with new music. And his girlfriend in this movie, who's a really good actor also, I'm sorry, I don't know her name, but she's acting in it. At first I thought it was going to be kind of weird, her singing career, but no, I actually got into the music and it was actually really good. Less a minute. And they actually do have Rocky his old days. He didn't have the technology they do, so Creed using, Johnson using laptops and iPads and tablets, and Rocky still using his old stuff. So, which is a nice comparison to that stuff. And they do have this one thing that bothered me. This is my biggest complaint about this movie. My only big complaint is when we're introduced to a new fighter, the movie just pauses and gives an old record of the fighter history. And at first I was like, I hate that. I really hate that. I'm not a fan of it. And it just took me out of the movie. I'm watching, getting really into it. I'm like, yeah. And it's like got the most interesting part. And it pauses. And we get the background history in the fighter. And so I was like, no. It took me out. I'm like, what the hell am I watching right here? No. But it's not that big of a deal. But my dad did brought a good point after it. I'm like, well, yeah, we got to learn more about the fighter and his fighting history and how good he was. And so that was too. But I just don't like it. It wasn't in the old Rocky film, so I don't think it should be in this one either. But that's my only big complaint about the new Creed movie. And so it's really great, really well directed, really well acted by all the actors. And you're going to really enjoy this scene. And you're going to really feel the punches, what they do a good job in the movie. You feel my every punch and how hard everyone's punching. You get really suspenseful at some scenes. So you all are going to love this movie. So I'm going to give Creed an 8.5. And so thank you guys for watching. And I'll be doing a review of Jessica Jones later.